So far we spoke about permanent Metastore tables. Now let's understand how to create temporary views using a data frame. We can create temporary view for a data frame using create temp view or create or replace temp view. Create or replace temp view will replace existing view if it already exists. If you use create temp view and if the view already exists, then it will just fail saying that view already exists. That is the difference between create temp view and create or replace temp view. While tables in Metastore are permanent, views are temporary. Once the application exists, temporary views will be deleted or flushed out. If you want to use the queries on top of data again, once you get into another session, you have to create temporary view, then you can run queries using that view. Now let's run this piece of code to take care of Spark session object. Then let's set spark.sql.shuffle.parsons to 2 so that we don't use unnecessarily too many resources to actually process the data when we run code snippets in this notebook. Then let's run this to create an object called as username. It will contain the user that I have used to login, which is nothing but itversity. Now I'm setting the current session to use itversity_airlines by running this piece of code. I hope the database exists. You can confirm whether we are attached to that database or not by using current database like this. You can see that I am attached to itversity_airlines. Let's run spark.catalog.list tables to list the tables. You can see that there is a table by name airport_codes. When it comes to is temporary for this table, it is false, which means this is a permanent table. You should be able to run queries on top of this table in process of processing the data. Now let me create an object by name airport_codes_path. It contains string, which is nothing but location in which we have the airport codes na.txt file. Once you create this variable or object, you should be able to pass it to spark.read.csv like this. The data is tab delimited, that's why I'm using sep equal to tab. It have header, that's why I'm saying header equal to true. I want to infer column names using the header and also data types based upon the values, and hence I'm setting infer schema to true. So it will take care of using the header as column names, and also based upon the values it will be able to infer the data types of the columns. Now let's run this. It will take care of creating the data frame by name airport codes df. You should be able to say print schema to preview the schema, and also you should be able to preview the data by using show. Now let's scroll down here. If you want to run queries to process the data in the data frame, one of the way is to create temporary view like this. So in this case, I have specified the data frame name, then dot, then create temp view, then the view name. This is the view name which we can use. Now we should be able to run this. It will take care of creating a view in this session. Now let's run this. You can see the list of tables as well as views. You can see there is a table by name airport_codes, and also it says a table, but it's actually a temporary view when it comes to Spark terminology. The name is nothing but airport_codes_v. If you look at is temporary for this, it is saying true, which means it is a temporary table, and also table type is temporary. To understand the purpose of the view, let's read the data from view and get number of airports by state. This is not the appropriate way of reading the data from view. The whole purpose of creating the view is primarily to actually run queries against the data. Instead of using data frame APIs like this, if you are comfortable with queries or SQL, you should be able to use SQL style syntax, and you should be able to process the data in the data frame once the temporary view is created. However, if you want to read the data using view, you can still use spark.read.table like this. It will create a data frame, and you should be able to get count of airports by state using data frame approach like this. Let's run this and also run this. You can see the count for each state here. However, if you want to use SQL style syntax to run queries against views, this is how it will look like. This is the view name. You can see that we are grouping by state. We are getting the count for each state, and then we are actually sorting the data in descending order by airport count. You should be able to run this, and you can see the output. This is how you should be able to use SQL style syntax to process the data in the data frame, leveraging the views that are created on top of data frame. This is how you should be able to use temporary views on top of data frames and write queries using those temporary views in the pursuit of processing the data using SQL style approach.